Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the 17th day of February 2025. A very critical evening. The news making headline this afternoon is a report that has been confirmed by City Hospital, Nairobi Hospital, that the former IEBC chair, Wafula Chebukati, who spearheaded the IEBC, was at the head of IEBC between 2016 to 2022 general election, was admitted in the hospital last evening, Sunday night. The report about Chebukati illness has been in the newsroom for quite some time, but of course the family had kept their silence over it. Remember, the last time IBC chair, the former IBC chair, came in public was March 2024. That was last year, and that is when his photos emerged. He was looking a little bit sickly when he visited the parents in Bungoma, and at that time there were also reports of Sabu had also spotted Chebukati in Serena Gym, where he also used to go for his physio. But of course, all that came. Now the report that has been confirmed by the Star, and because of the sensitivity of the story, I would want to read it verbatim. Former Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Wafula Chebukati is critically ill. The former IBC boss is admitted to a hospital in Nairobi, where he has been undergoing treatment for nearly a week. Hospital sources told the Star the former IBC boss is admitted to the intensive care unit at the hospital. We are monitoring his situation at the ICU. What Chebukati ails from is, however, private. Close family sources told the Star that the former IBC boss has been undergoing treatment at home and was taken to the hospital after the condition got dire. Chebukati served the IBC as IBC chair for a full term of 6 years and retired in January 2023 after taking over in January 2016. He presided over the 2017 general election, the 2017 repeat election, and the 2022 general election. And of course, the news about Chebukati is coming at a time when the country is procuring a new batch of IEBC commissioners. We've seen attempt, and of course, this then I would want us to, as we still follow into this. Now, this information has been there, but it was kept secret. The family was never comfortable coming out to explain or rather to talk about this. They really kept it a top secret. But I believe them coming out to explain, they wanted the country to know, and probably they also they don't want to break news in case of anything, because now they know that they did not want the news to come just from the hospital, because remember, the hospital, the ones that are taking care of him. So they did not want that story to come from the hospital, and that is why they opted to ensure that themselves they speak about the Wafula Chebukati's health. Now, I know that is critical there, but I would want us to look at a serious context. The news about Chebukati, I want us to look at the 7-year terror. I choose to use the word terror. It should be 7-year era, but of course the 7-year Chebukati regime at IEBC. Before we get into that, I want to say thank you. We have crossed the 100,000 mark. Anytime we shall be having our silver here, but I still want to remind you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos, and thank you very much, because whenever you like our videos, you will not be able to miss any video or any notification we do. Another thing, I also want to thank you that in this channel, apart from political analysis, we normally do philanthropy, charity programs, and this month we were supporting a lady known as Josephine. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to put the progress of that here. So make sure you watch to the end. Now, straight. Let's get down to this. There are 5 reasons why I believe that Chebukati regime at the helm of IEBC, the country, as we procure the new commission, the country must make sure that we don't end up with another Chebukati regime. I am a bit convinced Chebukati regime in IEBC was very disastrous. We should not end up with such again. Not anymore. Why? My argument is based on these 5 reasons. Between 2017 to 2022, both the general election in 2017, the repeat poll in 2017 October 26th, and the general election on 9th August 2022, during that time, there were high-profile murder of electoral officials, and Chebukati looked unmoved. Now, the death of Musando in 2017, days to the general election, different people argue and say that if the chairman was very responsible, he needed to raise the alarm and never got moved by that. All the 3 elections, one of the common denominator in all those elections that Chebukati spearheaded, this mass killing was linked to the deep state. High-profile murder. And this is because even though he appeared as a man who was hands-on, but he allowed several interests to play in that commission. It is largely said that Musando's death was related to a vote rigging scheme. And even in 2022, the high-profile murder, and he came out in public and said there's several. I did believe that he never looked moved. In fact, the humanitarian eye in Chebukati was not there. And that is why you will understand that even at the time we saw at the time election results were announced, remember the Bomas fiasco? The time Ledama Olekina was crashing with IBC and allegedly chased the commissioner, the IBC chairman from the Bomas of Kenya. It was very clear that we were taking the country, those election results. Were it not that we don't have a transition from Uhuru, who had a handshake with Raila, this country was going down that day. That day. So the human eye in the commission, I never saw it in Chebukati. The second reason why I believe we should not end up with another Chebukati, I have a bit of some friends I've seen have applied, and of course the move or the process of picking the new IEBC is dragging, or rather dragged for quite some time because of ridiculous court cases that was staged by different players who had different interests there, it so came out. Wafula Chebukati spearheaded a very cracked up commission. A commission that was split right in the middle. In 2017, after the commission was held together in 2017, but then on the process to the run-up to get to the repeat poll, Rosalind Akombe, and I think Boyamuli, one of the commissioners, that was Boyamuli if I'm not wrong, were heading to Dubai for inspection of the ballot papers. And Akombe never came back to the country. From there, he disappeared. She disappeared and went to the US. And that's how she left the commission. Their opinions were divided as to whether they needed to spearhead another repeat poll, being that the NASA team had withdrawn from that election. The commission in 2017 was equally split. Fast forward 2022. A man who did a one-man show in Bomas of Kenya decided to face the country and tell the country that President Ruto had won, while half of the commission were also issuing press briefing in Serena. They differed. They differed with the commission. So you still, and I've always said, what is the common denominator? That all these people were wrong. And as we talk to you, Masit Cherera, I think it's Masit Cherera and the other one, they're exiled. They're not in the country. Not yet in the country. Not for their liking, but because President Ruto regime did not want them around. While there is a handshake between William Ruto and Raila Odinga. I've always been saying that handshake was fake. It was fake. So you can see how that era was also commissioners were split. We should not end up with such again. I can tell you, 2027 election, if 2 or 3 commissioners will differ, will not be in solidarity with what the commission shall announce, this country will go down. Because the country is deeply splitted on those who want Ruto and those who don't want Ruto. And the general feeling was, or rather is, that the election is going to be rigged. President Ruto's handlers are coming out in public and saying, Ikura isipotosha tutaongeza. They're saying, and they are unapologetic about it. Probably, I believe that the image of the commission was tainted within the 7 years. I did think that by the time Isaka's son was shown the door after Firibe operation in 2015, and he resigned, I think, somewhere in October, in August 2015, and then the process of picking up the new commission started. We ended up with Chebukati. And I remember that time there were so many other opinions around it. We should not end up with such again, because there will be pro-Ruto and those who are against Ruto. So if the commission are not having one result, don't announce. We only escaped it by whisker because there was a handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, and Uhuru Kenyatta wanted a smooth transition. The commission was riddled with endless tender fights with politicians investing emotions in that commission. Every politician would come up with any manner of, and you can see the Otimofo, the server business in 2017, the same server business, ballot paper printing tender, or you've given to a company that is linked to a Tangula, or there is a tender for someone from South Africa. We had a lot. And if we are to get it right, immediately we form the commission, we'll start talking about electoral system. We must get it right. There are things that we should always think about. I'm one person who believes the commission should not do tendering for the ballot papers. They should not. Tender for the ballot papers, electoral system, the KIMS kit, those tenders should not be left to this. I don't know if that's UN or I don't know who can be this neutral arbiter. Anyone here, ni mukora. Anyone is a mukora on this. So during the 7 years, there are a lot of tender fights. It was that tender, I'm looking for that other tender, this tender. There's so many other twists and turns around it. Now, the commission was highly infiltrated by foreign powers to pursue their interest. And that really didn't go well. That didn't go well. We got it right. We got it wrong on that. Several court orders trashed. And this was something. You know, in 2017 and 2022, we piloted a hybrid system of election. Voting is manual. Transmission is electronic. I don't know, tallying is manual. I don't know which one is electronic. We either choose to go fully manual or fully electronic. The hybrid system have different loopholes of manipulation. Quick recovery, Mr. Chebukati. Yes, so guys, we've also bought the fryer, the double one. This is double, so unafika both sides. Unafika hii na huku, alafu this one. So ile kitu imebaki ni the setup. Hiyo inaitwaje baby? Display. Yeah, the display. Yeah. Yeah. Then now this is a new place. Yeah. So guys, we've done our bit of it. So from here we're going to pay the rent and do another cash transfer for Joseph. And this one tutaki biashara yangu. Okay. Tunataka kufanya biashara. Na make sure umeshikilia na usikule pesa yote. Niliambiwa nikwambie hivyo.
Siwezi kula biashara kama haijafika.
We are going to pay you house rent ya huko for 5 months. So that ile pesa unafanya hata kama ulipa rent uweke ukianza kulipa rent usikuwe struggle nayo. And guys, I want to see David. I want to thank David. David is my support on all this. He's the person who is normally running up and down. Tunamshukuru sana yeye ndiye alikuwa. Namtaka na David sana to make sure that the channel is on David. Yes. Ukiwa na shida you still perform us. But when wataanza balance
by next week.
By next week. Monday. So tukikuja Monday, tukikuja Monday na viti itakuwa imewekwa. Ninataka nikuje Monday nione hiyo kama sasa iko. Mimi mwenyewe nikuje nikule. Si ndio? Sasa. So so guys, that's what we've done for that one. The business is going to be wanatengeneza is supposed to be open, so on Monday it will be ready so that Josephine can work there. Josephine can say something.
Nimeshukuru sana kwa kuendelea, ni vizuri mnisaidie, mnisimamishe. Niko na watoto wanahitaji kusoma. Na mimi nimeshukuru sana, Mungu awabariki na awazidishie baraka kwenu.
Sounds